Hi guys, so I'm back finally a little later than expected with part two of this video series on how to compete for organic search traffic as a small business, particularly in a established market. So last time around I spoke about what search engine optimization is and recent updates to the kind of search engine landscape. So today I'm going to talk about how search engines work, and I'm also going to talk about how to optimize for search engines, which was, I had said previously, it was going to be a third video, but I'm going to combine 2 and 3 into this one. And finally, I'll follow up sooner this time around with a video on putting all that information together and making it work for you as a small business in an established market. So first, I want to talk about how search engines work. So in general, search engines, including Google, broadly follow a 3-step process to retrieve and display search results. That 3-step process involves a crawler, an indexer, and a ranker. So first, to talk about the web crawler. So crawling is the process by which search engines discover updated content on the web, like new websites, new pages, or changes to existing sites and dead links. The web crawler crawls the web, taking direction from previously crawled URLs and XML sitemaps. This is an example of an XML sitemap on a website of a client of mine. So what it is essentially is a file in an XML format that robots and search engine crawlers understand, that clearly identifies all of the pages and content in your website and their relationships to each other and their priority. And what you can do is you can submit this to Google Search Console or Bing Webmaster Tools, and it gives Google that helping hand in identifying all content and new content on your website. So the next step then is the indexer. So once a search engine processes each of the pages it crawls, it adds it to a massive indexer database of billions of web pages. That extracted content is stored, the information is organized and interpreted by the search engine's algorithm to measure its importance compared to other similar pages. This indexer can be influenced by robots' meta tags on individual pages. So this is a search engine crawler following instructions from no index tags. So if you see here, the crawler starts crawling on the home page, for example, page A here. This is marked as index and follow, so that allows the crawler to both index that page in the database and also to follow the links on that page to other pages. This page here, on the other hand, is marked with a no index follow meta tag. So what this tells the crawler to do is not to index this in its database, but you can carry on and follow the other links on the page. The final stage then is the ranker. So once a keyword is entered into a search bar on Google, for example, the search engine will check for pages within their index that are the closest match, and a score will be assigned to those pages based on an algorithm consisting of hundreds of different ranking signals. Those pages will then be displayed to the user in the order of score. So the idea here is that the crawler has decided has found all your pages, added them to its index, and now based on the ranking algorithm has decided to rank you in position 1 on the search engine results page. So that's how search engines work broadly. So now we're going to talk about how to optimize for search engines based on that knowledge of how they work. So there's 3 core principles of SEO that have been proven to contribute to positive SEO results over the long term. They correspond with those 3 stages of search engines, of how search engines work. And these 3 pillars of SEO are technology, relevance, and authority. So first I'll talk about pillar 1, technology or technical SEO. So technical underpinnings of a website should be optimized to ensure that your website can easily be crawled by search engines. This includes things like website speed, making sure your website is fast, making sure your website is mobile friendly. XML sitemaps, which I've already mentioned, should be included to allow crawlers to more easily crawl and understand your website. And your site structure and your navigation should be logical, and it should be easy to navigate between different related topics and pages. In other words, technical SEO is predominantly concerned with the crawling stage. It's about making your site technically sound so that the search engine crawler has no problem crawling it. The second pillar is relevance, and this is all about the content on your website. So when search engines can crawl your website's content, that doesn't mean that they know what it's about. So they also need to consider various elements of your content to interpret what your pages are about. This includes things like the topical focus of your content, of your pages. So using the right keywords and related synonyms on a single page, on each page. Meta titles, meta title tags, and meta description tags as well, and content EAT. EAT stands for expertise, authority, and trust. And essentially, Google's algorithm has ways of measuring or interpreting this. But basically, all you can do to influence this is to make sure that you write top quality content that your audience will be interested in. So relevance is primarily concerned with the indexing stage. The final pillar is authority, and authority is all about link building links to your website. So all other things being equal, Google will turn to authority when deciding which of two similar pages ranks higher. So if your site is technically sound, and if your content is really good and really relevant, but your competitor also has a really technically sound site and really similar content, then more often than not, when Google or another search engine is trying to decide which of these pages to rank, it'll fall back on authority or link profile. So links and citations send the right signals to search engines that your website is a trusted source. With sufficient links from other trusted websites, your site will be seen as trustworthy as well, and search engines will rank your content higher in search results for relevant queries. In other words, authority is predominantly concerned with the ranking stage of how search engines work. So in summary, technical SEO optimizations ensure that your site can be crawled by search engines. Content optimizations make sure that search engines can understand the context of your site and index it correctly. And authority optimizations, or inbound link building, ensure that search engines trust your website and rank your content above your competitors for relevant search queries. And that's a little visualization of those three stages and how they correlate to how search engines work. In reality, there's a little bit of overlap here in terms of technology can impact indexing and ranking as well. And each of the different pillars are affected by the different stages. But an easy way to think of it is that technology is all about making sure your site can be crawled. Relevance is all about making sure your site can be indexed, and authority is all about marginal gains to push your site up the rankings ahead of your competitors. So that's how search engines work and how to optimize for them. So in the next video, I'm going to talk more specifically about how you can use that information in the context of being a small business in a crowded established market in order to rank and drive SEO traffic. So thanks a lot, and talk to you next time.